Um,
Black
I've seen
Mirror.
most. Now that's new. I haven't
That's
gotten
new.
into that.
I've seen that.
That's good.
I haven't seen
I
that.
feel like you're
That's new.
missing
I haven't
out on
gotten
Black
into that.
something
Black
here.
Mirror is my favorite shit right
Yeah.
now.
Is it really? Do you feel
Yeah.
like it's a little too repetitive? Like it's just some like British dude sitting in there at some point, like, "Oi, what if we made it so like phones, right? Fucking phones, dial you." Yeah, no,
Yo.
throw that one in the pile. That's season 5. All right, a fucking Roomba, mate. A fucking Roomba, mate. Yeah, it's got a face on it of dead folks already passed away. Remind you of them. Yeah. Gives
Yo,
little feedback coins. Like
Your accent is insanely
Oh, he's got a
accurate.
million of them.
Holy shit. That's just funny. But
Yeah.
but it is, I can see how you can say that. But to me, it's the script's a real good script. It's well written, right? And so that's what I look for in like entertainment that I like to watch. Is like it's well written. That's like so I started watching. I wasn't really good. I wasn't really big on TV shows. But when I retired, I just started binge watching. Like I didn't leave the house for 2 weeks one time when I binge watched Game of Thrones.
Oh, your Kyle phase.
Yeah, so this was the problem though. So like before that I started watching The Walking Dead, and so I got to like season 6, and then we started Game of Thrones, and so then I went back to The Walking Dead, and it's just not the same quality. To me.
Yeah.
It's
not
like
even close.
Yeah, the writing is just not like it's.
Their
I'm not,
budget is like 1.6 million an episode of The Walking Dead. In Game of Thrones, it's like 10 or 12 million dollars or something.
But
like
even
that.
it's not even necessarily like the props or the set. It's the writing.
The writing's bad. The writing's bad, and it's
I would say it's bad. Because I don't disrespect the writers. I would say it's not to the standard of a Game of Thrones, which is why I couldn't even finish Walking Dead. I just lost interest in it because it just doesn't. But that's why I like Black Mirror, because Black Mirror is very well written. It's well thought out. And
have you seen The Wire?
I think I haven't.
The Wire is the shit.
I still haven't
The
seen
Wire.
that either.
The Wire might be the best TV show there's ever been. It's in Baltimore, Maryland, and it focuses equally on the law enforcement and the drug dealers, and it kind of goes back and forth, and they're sort of chasing after each other. And I don't know which side is more interesting. Yeah. Both sides are equally interesting. Like you're over there with McNulty and the fucking cops, and you're like, come on, get the wire in place. Why won't the Sarge let you put it in? And then you go back to the fucking street dealers, and they're like the main like criminal. He's like taking business school classes and fucking taking notes and shit, learning about economics to like make his crack dealing empire better. It's good shit.
I've heard about it so much. Everybody I know has watched that shit, and I have yet to. I don't know why I didn't have cable when it came out. That's what happened.
Yeah, it's fucking great. It's very, very good.
I heard about it.
It's strong.
I'm gonna check it out.
So I'm
I like
sure,
The Sopranos, all that shit.
Being in the NFL for so long, like having everything be about football, and even college before, like when you got out and retired, there had to be some shit like TV shows, like pop culture shit that you didn't even know existed, like where you were just like, oh shit, how long have they been doing this for? Like you probably had so much to catch up on because you don't have your finger on the pulse when you're working your ass off to be in the NFL.
A lot. I missed out on a lot actually. Well, I was saying I missed out. It was for a reason, but like so, Game of Thrones was a huge one. Like I had no idea about it. Like it started like what you said in 2010. I didn't even hear about it until 2016, and that's when it's like, you watch Game of Thrones? I was like, no, I had no idea what it was about. That was a big one. What else? Let me see. I can't think of any off the head like that.
I think Game of Thrones, matched up perfectly
Motorcycles.
with your pro career. Motorcycles, they those have been invented for a while though.
But I had never I never fucking heard of that shit before. But I bought a motorcycle when I got out of the league,
What'd
and
you get?
It was a Harley. Really nice Harley bike, and then Harvey happened, the flood.
Mm-hmm.
And it got flooded out. Yeah, I just got the insurance money from it, and I just didn't want to go through that whole process and get another one, and plus my mom was on my ass about it. So,
Arian, what's it like being a smart guy in an NFL locker room? Like
I appreciate you saying I'm smart, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. But like, some of those guys don't seem so smart, and they're a little aggressive, or maybe easily provoked. I don't know. How's locker room?
I think a lot of that is marketing. So it's never as bad as it seems, and it's never as good as it seems. That's kind of the old adage. But it's different being, because I was a philosophy major, right? So I feel like if you have any kind of interest in philosophy, you kind of fancy yourself a thinker. So I do, and I fancy myself a thinker. And I think when you're in that environment, it is not a thinker's environment. It's all about conformity. And when you're when you kind of step outside of that that lane, you're kind of considered hazardous to the progress of the team. Because if you question a coach, it's not, they don't take it as genuine inquisitiveness. They look at you like you're questioning authority. Who do you think you are? Like, it's a weird
almost
culture.
like a military thing. It sounds like.
No, it is. So they kind of beat you like that. So it's like if you see player, and I've talked about this before, but if you see like player coach relationships, it's not like father son. That's rare. It's more like they treat you like cattle more so. Like, you do what I say and they're gonna beat it into you. It's more like very assertive, aggressive way of doing things. And so when I was in that environment, that's kind of what led me to want to end it early, was because I couldn't take that anymore. It was a stupid fucking way to handle people, and just, it was a game at the end of the day. And I always knew it was a game. And I used to be in practice, and I'm looking at people like yelling and screaming. I'm like, this shit is crazy how into this like you are. Like you're yelling at people, like veins popping out. I seen like coaches be having heart attacks. Like, you see coaches go through physical problems because of how intense they are. And I can't relate, because I understand it's your job. I just can't relate to how seriously you take it.
Sometimes I see guys on the sidelines like yelling at their teammates, pumping them up, and like I put myself in that position because I could have been, and it's just, I don't think I'd have responded well to that. Like, that guy is just a little primal.
It depends on how it is. Like, and it depends on who does it too, right? So like, I feel like if you put a group of males in a room together, I don't know what the fuck this video is. If you put a group of males in a room together, like alphas, there's an alpha that's gonna emerge out of that group, and so you kind of lean towards those males. But when people are betas trying to be alphas, and like forcefully so, like coaches kind of deem people leaders on the team because this is your team, and you kind of see it just becomes a shit show, because then you're following a cat that doesn't even follow himself, and it's just the culture is just a mass bravado, just masquerading as humility, and it's the weirdest